is a great day to be a Coyote. Welcome, Coyote Nation, to another episode of Back to Pack Podcast, where we are going to be bringing you all of your favorite games, memories, and of course, discussion with our fellow Coyotes. As a disclaimer, we have no affiliation to the University of South Dakota. This is a podcast ran by fans for fans. The ideas and comments do not represent the university. Our opinions are our own. Be sure to find us on Twitter at BackToPackSD. With that being said, let's jump in. And look at this. All three of us.
Man, finally, we're all back together.
I don't know. Is
Here
this
we
a
go.
sign
It's
that
been a while.
fall's getting
It was
close?
mostly my fault, though.
That's right. 30 days. Let's
Oh,
go.
Mm.
Yote fan. Hey, can't forget about
know
Yote
what, if
fan.
you're-
He's got the first
Of
comment
course.
in here.
Yep.
Always.
I think-
What's up, Yote fan?
Always.
Let's
If you're a
go.
real football sicko, there's preseason football on tonight. If you're a true Yote sicko, we've got Strevler getting the nod at starting quarterback for the Blue Bombers
Mhm.
tomorrow night. So football is happening.
It is.
Let's go. Let's go.
Both-
How are you boys doing? You held it down without me last week.
Yeah, that one was a blast. Coach
That was
Finney,
great. Coach was great.
pretty cool dude.
So I listened to that shortly after you guys did it, and yeah, I love Coach Finney. He sounds like a real good one.
Yeah. That one was a blast. But you
That's
know what's
awesome.
nice? You want to know how you know we're getting close to football? We actually have content besides
Yes.
Coach's interview.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
All right, so we got a little
Mhm.
bit of housekeeping to get to before we get to rankings, but Yote fan, I'm curious to know where you think some of these Missouri Valley teams are going to be, so get ready for that here in a few minutes. But 4 Saturdays. We got 4 Saturdays, guys. And I know jumping right in here, but I mean, I don't know. I can't contain it. We're seeing practice videos and stuff now from media members that are out there, and I'm getting super pumped.
Oh, yeah.
But before we do that, let's talk about Caleb Stewart real quick, because he was a guest of our show. He graced us with his time prior to, shout out to the Howling Podcast, by the way. If you guys want to check out basketball, volleyball, soccer, all the fall sports coming up here, make sure to tune into those guys that are our friends over there. But before we kind of went our separate ways, and Jake, we just focused on football here with this podcast. We had Caleb on, if you remember.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And,
No, that one was a blast.
So we got to give a shout out to Caleb. He ended up signing a contract over in Serbia. We've got, what's the name of the town here, the team? Sloga Krajevo in Krajevo, Serbia. So, yeah, I had to look up the pronunciation on that. I even put it on the slides so I couldn't mess it up.
I think we've
But,
gotten
If
to
it
the
was
point
you, I
now,
would not
though.
even taken a stab at it.
We've gotten to the point where Mitch has to do the goofy names. If it wasn't for me saying Majestic, I'd have troubles with our backup quarterback.
Right.
That's the
Majeski,
only way I remember it.
Majeski.
Yeah.
But that spelling is tough.
Exactly.
But yeah, so shout out Caleb. Congratulations on getting a deal here, and hey, another quote unquote pro Yote, right? Even if he's not here in the States, man, he's going to do great things over there. And he was fun, Jake. You mentioned it, having him on the show. We talked about how if you do your homework, if you stay on top of your homework, you play better. And he dropped 44 at Denver one night in a double overtime game. That was probably the highlight of his Yote career. But no, we loved him as a Yote and wish him the best.
Now, whether it's NFL, CFL, AFL, I don't care what it is, somebody needs to pick up our boy Blake so we can keep our streak
Yes.
going. Pretty much every Coyote we've interviewed has gone pro in some sort of form. So we got to get our boy Blake up there.
Is he the only one out of all the player guests we've had? I think he's the only one.
I
think
Yeah.
so.
Plenty.
Well,
plenty of
besides
time.
Aiden, but time,
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That'll play out how it
That-
plays out too. But yeah, I think he's
investment.
the only one. So yeah, we got to get Blake hooked up. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go real quick. This came out right before we came on. This was sent to me by actually my fellow season ticket holder friend in Section H, Sarah Wells, and
Yep.
she saw this $30 ticket special for the Iowa State game. So if you haven't grabbed a ticket yet, let's go. This goes on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. So I'm not sure how many they have. It says limited, But if you haven't got a ticket, you're on the fence. Can't guarantee the seat's going to be great with these, but $30 gets you in the door.
I will say, and I mean, obviously, as we get closer to the game, the experience will pay off. I've been in the stadium. I've sat in pretty much every section except for the Sukup end zone section. I've yet to complain about a seat. So $30, $30. Let's go see a win over a ranked FBS opponent.
Yeah, and the fact that they're doing this flash deal, guys, they're not very confident about selling out their home opener against little USD.
No, they're scared.
We like it that way. Just we're just little USD. Don't worry about us. Just keep moving on. No, nothing to see here.
I remember a program saying, "Yeah, we scheduled them on a homecoming because it's little USD. We figured we'd kick their butts."
Exactly. So $30.
Right.
Yeah, you got lots of ways to get tickets at this point, but this one, yet another good option if you're on the fence. $30 is a pretty good deal. Exactly. Speaking of tickets, single game tickets for Coyote football and volleyball are also on sale. So if you're not a season ticket holder, you can buy the individuals. That's no big deal. They're on sale now. So try to get those best seats while they're still there. Prices, guys. Prices look a little steep on some of these, though. I'm not going to lie. I think we were doing the math and we were looking at the price of season tickets. Season tickets is the way to go at this point with just the price of singles, especially for the quote unquote premium games like D-Days and this year the state game.
Exactly. Well, heck, if you do it, you look at it that way and you buy season tickets for all games and you just skip. Obviously, you don't want to skip the Bunnies game or D-Days, but if you have to and you pawn those off, you'd break even.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what was it? We did the math. It was like $28 if you do season tickets, $28 a game.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Something like that. So I think you're better off going that route at this point. Singles are just getting a little pricey, but yeah, there they are up on the screen. Different sections. They're obviously different amounts.
Yep.
But yeah, and looking forward
to. I don't know if we have it, but they have the Red Pass, I believe is what they were calling it, where you got to pick one as well, which was a pretty good deal. So a lot of different options, like you said, between single, like a mini pack or red pack. I can't remember what they called exactly, but I mean, but to your point, if you're planning on going to 2 or 3 games, the season ticket route's the best way to go for sure.
Yeah, and the second best option is probably that Red Pass. I think you get 3 games.
3 games. Pick one of SDSU or D-Days, and then pick 2 of the other 4.
Yeah, that's the way to go. But yeah, if you just go to 1 game a year or something like that, singles are available. So get those while the best seats are still there. How about this one, guys? We're not going to spend a ton of time because we don't know a ton of information on this, but USD just had a addition to the football staff. Mason Thompson from University of Wisconsin Whitewater, which is a D3 school. Looks like he was added, just clicking on his bio, on his Twitter bio, looks like he was added for recruiting/player personnel. So I don't know if that's going to be working under Coach Rosie, maybe.
I think Coach Rosie may have got his assistant, but yeah. I tell you what, I joke, if you're going to pull a defensive coach, or if you're going to pull a coach from Iowa, it better be defensive. If you're going to pull some sort of assistant coach, University of Wisconsin Whitewater, one of the best programs to pull from.
Yeah,
their ability to scout talent, unranked, unfound talent is bar none.
And this makes me think, guys, with all you look at the transfer portal and just all the player movement nowadays, and we just had Coach Rosie on. We talked through some of that, but seems like that's kind of a growing area of. Obviously, a growing area of need for all teams, and so we've added to that staff.
Yeah.
All right. Moving right along here. How about this one? Little social media boost for the Yotes. We knew this was coming because we knew a box had been sent to Mr. John Gruden, but and the other day he was wearing a Yotes polo while he was doing another team, so we saw that.
Right.
Yeah, and then here a couple days later comes the unboxing of the Yotes. So what do you guys think about that, especially with his name on the jersey?
Well, that's the thing. I'm a freak when it comes to the roster, and I'm looking up. I'm just like you, Mitch, sending pictures of who was on the starting line at practice today. Yeah, I'm looking into the numbers, so I'm starting to learn numbers really well. But you know how nice it would be to have nameplates.
What do you think, Grant? It does look pretty good.
It does. I'm a big fan of the nameplates.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, selfishly as a fan, right? You can immediately identify who made the tackle, right, with the nameplate on it. I'm sure
Yep.
that John Thayer would agree with me on that. But no, I think it looks really sharp. I really do. Also, incredibly jealous of the box that he got. I mean, it was full of.
Dude,
They had a helmet in there, quarter zip. I mean, they
they
loaded
had a
it up.
full game helmet. Like that was. I told John, just send it up here. I'll do an unboxing.
Yeah,
Not
The one
Gruden,
thing,
Schemmel.
pretty
I have to
sweet.
say, the one thing I did like to hear that he said he started talking about Aiden and talking about getting him. He said, "Oh, this is last year of eligibility. I'll have to get him on the show because he does his I think it's what is
Quarterback.
his show called, quarterback class or whatever it is
Yep.
show."
Yep.
So well, let's remember that, right? Let's
Mm-hmm.
maybe mark that down and say, "Hey, just remember you you need to have this guy on your show here because you mentioned it back last year." So
Yeah,
I,
and
I like that.
shout out Crew Hire for giving up his jersey number for Coach.
Yes, that's awesome. So two things with Gruden's unboxing. How about
Mm-hmm.
Coyotes and
Hey,
and Bowman? Drove me nuts.
yeah, I can understand the Bowman one for the most part. That one I
That
can
was tough.
see
That was
how.
tough. That was tough.
Yeah, that was tough. But yeah, see, I don't know what's it with these West Coast folks calling them Coyotes.
he was even so close. He found the shirt that had the script on it that just said Yotes. So
He's
so
like, yeah,
close.
the Yotes. Why didn't he call it the Yotes?
We go Coyotes. Yotes. Okay, got that. Yeah, but then it should have been
Right?
Yotes. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, man. Still drives me nuts. I know a lot of
Hey.
guys out there still say it that way, but there is a little
It
bit
is.
of differentiation. It seems like the further south you go, the more it goes to Coyotes.
Hey, my good
I tell
friend
you
in
what.
Phoenix will tell me that it's Coyotes, right? For they're due to the hockey team, but I tell him
Yep.
it's Yotes.
Exactly.
And your good friend's wrong. So
yes, he's incorrect every time.
I will say this: scrolling through his comments on this, it was very comical to see the butthurt Northern fans, the fans up north, on that. They were not happy.
Yeah, they haven't had an unboxing yet, have they?
They don't deserve to be on his show.
Hey, how about this one?
There you go.
Shout out Scott Cochran here. I need a Cochran jersey. I agree. That would be sick.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It was good. Obviously, it was neat. It was a good little summer boost for the social media and obviously for the university as a whole and for the program. So I've been watching some other ones as he does those guys, some other universities I've been tuning into. So you learn, he throws in a little, a couple tidbits and fun facts and history stuff. So you kind of learn something.
They do their research. I was impressed by that. Yeah. He had a lot of facts he was ripping through. So good for them.
4.5 minutes long.
Yes.
Impressive.
Yes. All right. I think this is probably our last preseason list to look at here, guys. We've got the FCS preseason All-Americans. This is just by the FCS Central guys up in the top left. About the same list we've seen from other media sites with Aiden, Charles, Nate, Will, and is that Hawkins? Yeah, Hawkins on the bottom.
Yep.
But what I really want to talk about here, and the East Shrine is on the right side of the screen. That is for NFL scouting purposes. So those two are kind of the top two that NFL scouts are looking at for us because that's kind of a scouts game. But really, guys, I want to talk about the middle, the Walter Payton watch list. We've got two guys on it.
Yeah. Yep. Do I start my rant now or do I save that for later?
Go for it.
Okay. I don't understand. And I tweeted it out there. So if you follow me on Twitter, you already know my stance on this. But there are two teams in the Missouri Valley with at least two players on this. And I would argue that Illinois State deserves 3 on the list. But neither of those teams were in the top 2 of the Missouri Valley. At least one received first place votes. But this is a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
It's the math isn't mathing, is it? We're getting recognition in certain places, but not in others. So almost looking at these two individual guys versus our team, obviously, and we're going to get to that here in a second with the rankings. But Yeah, I think. I mean, we know how we feel on this show, obviously with Aiden, right? Like that's a
Mm-hmm.
no brainer. But to see Charles on there, and we've been beating this drum, guy, since last year with
Yeah.
Charles and Travis and the best running back room in the nation with the 1-2 punch.
Mhm.
And obviously we've talked about this too, where it's his year. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna be the guy in that starting spot, and so I guess to see this is neat. I don't know, have we ever had anybody else on the watch list that you guys can remember for Walter Payton Award?
Not
Was Aiden
preseason.
on it last year?
I don't think so. I don't think so. No.
No, I don't believe so.
Yep. Okay.
And Strevler certainly wasn't preseason the year that
No,
he
God,
made it to the
he came out of nowhere.
right. So no, I think it's funny. So that I will say to Jake's point, like the Walter Payton, the rankings, they all don't make sense. And at first I was like, man, maybe this is a little disrespect, right? And now I'm
Mm-hmm.
starting to think it's because no one has any idea what is going on this year. And I think it's
Nope.
starting to become more clear it's that no one has any clue what's going to happen in the Missouri Valley this year because there's been so
They
much
went to the
unpredictability.
safety valve.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
exactly. It is.
Yeah, and it's because
By
the other
default.
top two teams are having to replace quarterbacks too. I mean, that's a
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
big part of this conversation
And
is
one's replacing quarterbacks and a head coach.
yeah,
Right.
and so there's a lot of unknown. And
Mm-hmm.
thank goodness we've got the one known coming back in Aiden, and then obviously tag on Charles to that as well. I think we feel pretty darn good about where we're at on offense going into this season.
Oh
But
yeah.
anything else on this, guys, before we jump to the rankings?
No, I'll have more coming out here as we
Uh,
get into this. I don't want to
That's
spoil what's
right.
coming.
all right. One more
Yes.
here. We got to talk about this because this is absolutely huge,
So pumped.
figuratively and literally. How about Big Mo? One
Oh
Mo
yeah.
year. You guys like that? I like that play on words that the old
Mm-hmm.
USD social media team threw out there. And awesome graphic too, by the way. But Big
Yes.
Mo, Mosai Newsom gets a medical hardship waiver. So he submitted this a while ago, guys. This has been months, but finally got approved to come back one more year. So just to recap some stuff on him, obviously defensive tackle, 6'5", 320 pounds from Waverly, Iowa. Started every game for us last year and even started a bunch, I think, the year prior to that too. But
Yep.
33 tackles, half a sack, and the big interception against UC Davis in the playoff game in the dome on the tip drill. That was phenomenal to
Heck
see
yeah.
a big guy interception. But the fun fact here is this is his 7th year of college football, which is so we're still kind of at the end tail. Well, we should be at the tail end of the COVID stuff, but because he got the
These
medical
are
hardship approved, he's got the
Hmm.
bonus. So 7th year, that is unbelievable. So guys, when I tweeted "Daddy's home," I meant literally
grandpa.
grandpa. Yeah, we got. But no, how big is it? I'll let you guys discuss.
Well, the first thing I told you guys this. I'm pretty sure I had a class when I was in college with him. No,
Unreal.
absolutely huge. And I'll let Grant jump in on it too, and then I'll share some stuff on it. But he's such a huge effort guy. He is a class act. I've met him a couple times after games. I talked with him. The girls got a picture with him. Just such a nice, humble kid. This is huge for him. He is so pumped up to be able to continue playing, get one more year under his belt. I'm so
And
happy
how
for him.
and how about Grant after losing what was going to be all four starters on our defensive line to get
Right.
him back and knowing that we recruited hard in the portal to replace some of those guys and we've got some younger guys that are going to step up this year and get into that rotation, but to now get him back and find out on the first day of practice.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's also good too because we had Coach on, and Coach said we probably had the deepest position group at D line, a lot of
Yep.
unproven guys. So to get somebody proven back in there, that got to help a ton with that. And uh, actually thinking about the slide prior to, you want to think about some preseason, awards. I got to think that he probably would have been on a Missouri Valley list had they known if he was getting another year. So,
Right.
um,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all expect big year from him again. He's been doing it a long time, and yeah, that's huge. To be honest, I really didn't expect it to come through.
Yeah.
Like I think it had gone on so long that I just went, okay, it's the NCAA. Like they're gonna screw it up. It's not gonna happen. So this was like a
yeah, and I
totally
think we talked
huge
about
surprise.
we've talked about all the obviously the transfer stuff and all the roster additions throughout this whole offseason, and we didn't even bring him up because he worked out at the NFL Pro Day along with the other seniors.
Right.
And obviously didn't get much there, didn't feel like he's going to be moving on to the next level or whatever there. And so he was I think, I don't know if it's John Schemmel that tweeted this, but he was like interning for athletic USD for like athletic administration, right? And so
nice.
He was kind of looking to move on, and then obviously at the last minute here finds out that medical waiver was approved. But yeah, we didn't even talk about it all offseason because we just assumed he was going to be gone, and the NCAA is not very favorable when it comes to those kind of things. So to see this approved is absolutely huge news for the defense that's going to have to replace a bunch of starters.
Whoa. I had to go back in my notes for that because I knew that comment was coming. Not so fast, my friend.
All right, let me have it. Oh, first off, hold on. Shout out Kendall K, by the way. She's bringing she's bringing the emojis tonight.
Heck yeah. I'll say this too. Our defense is not returning one starter. In my mind, our defense is returning 7 starters. It's absolutely huge. Nobody's talking about it like that.
If you want to get technical, let's do it.
Okay, to be fair, Big Mo, he did start. So now we are returning 2. So
him and Nate automatic.
Him and Nate automatic. Now the next starter, Wade Abrams. He played so many snaps, not just on the defense, but on all 4 special teams.
Yep.
He was out there a ton, and he was making plays after plays. He played in the overtime against SDSU.
Yep.
Crucial minutes. Next, we got Tim White. He started 2 games last season. He was playing starter minutes because we had such depth. We were rotating like crazy. He had plenty there. Next, Dwan Lewis. Now he started.
Seatbelt.
At Lamar.
Seatbelt.
Oh, yeah. Hook it up. Buckle up, guys, because we're going to have some fun with it. But he did start. So that is a starter. He has starter experience. And he played in a tougher league. It's still not Missouri Valley, but he started. Next, we got Roman Tillman. Started the first 2 games of the season last year.
He's going to be good, by the way. He's going to be sneaky good this year.
Mm-hmm. And so, the move to safety kind of throws it off a little bit, but he played starter minutes. The next is Carter Hooper. That guy was on the verge of being lightning in the bottle towards the end of the season, but he was getting ton of minutes.
Yeah, and we do the platoon swap on the D line, so he got a lot of minutes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and
I feel you. I'm with you. The outsiders, the people outside of Yote Nation, are sleeping on the defense because they look at it as, we had to replace 10 out of 11 guys, and obviously now Big Mo makes that 9, but we know better.
Oh yeah, and you know what? Niall Dickel, he was in there a ton too. Not as much as Carter Hooper, but he was second stringer last season. So,
and then you throw in Coach Kirch. He's going to run the same defense as Johansson, and those two have been lockstep for years, running the same stuff at different colleges. So, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think I know you guys read a lot of it, but Sam Herder did breakdowns of each team, talking about season previews and things like that. And I noticed as I was reading through the articles, he really went more by snap count for guys as opposed to like starter versus non-starter. And then you're right. That's probably the better measuring stick, right? Like a guy who plays 250 plus snaps.
Basically a starter.
Yeah, basically a starter. So it's good. It's all good. I like your track of thought there, Jake. I like it.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. So, hey, welcome back, Big Mo. He needs no introduction to the team, but Daddy's home. All right. Speaking of practice, we had first day of practice Wednesday, and then obviously second day of practice today, Thursday. I just threw a couple photos up here. You get to see the kind of the first photos of the Coach Johansson era. It's official now.
Mm-hmm. Can we zoom in on the LJ photo? Like, is that possible?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure USD is a gun-free campus, but he's packing some heat.
Man, he's
Those
ripped.
are absolute cannons.
He's ripped. He looks a lot bigger than last year too.
Incoming Missouri Valley drug test.
Oh man.
So you want to talk about throwing a bowling ball across the goal line? There it is, number 24 in this picture, right? That's
Yes.
love to see that. But yeah, I think that was everyone's first reaction is he's gotten way bigger. So love to see that. And then just heard today, I can't remember which outlet went down to practice, and everyone seemed to be gushing about Aiden Bauman looking like he picked up right where he left off from last year, which is what we all expect and what he expects of himself. So it's only day one, but they said they had a great practice. Love to hear it.
Yeah, with Aiden, guys, I think he said he dropped 10 or 12 pounds going into this season, being a little leaner. He looks good.
Yeah, I just there's a part of me that doesn't mind a little Roethlisberger little look to you to take some of those hits on, but if you're leaner, quicker, can get out of the pocket a little bit, we like that.
We got to pull this one up from Dustin here. Let's see. There we go. LJ, fantastic Grizzly out of Northwestern.
Hey, there you go.
That's straight up pipeline from Northwestern. They have pumped out some dudes. Brees Hall, everybody knows him.
Shout out! Is that Wichita, Kansas? Is that who? That's who we got joining us, Dustin, tonight.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah! Hey, we're excited to have him too. By the way.
Oh yeah, that's the next year thing.
Heck yeah!
We'll get him up here. Have some fun. I will say this too. If anybody's out there listening, we've had plenty of people stop by our tailgate. Feel free to swing by.
Yeah, absolutely. Just look for the flag, right? We got the logo flying.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
All right, so yeah, not a whole lot out of practices yet. They haven't gone pads. I think that's tomorrow. But we've seen some videos. Shout out Midco and Jay Elson, right? He went to first practice yesterday, and then our not so friend Zim was at practice today. That's with Sioux Falls Live. Guys, we don't have a beat writer yet. They haven't replaced Nathan Swaffer, so we're that's why I'm kind of just hunting and pecking around on Twitter trying to find whoever I can. So thankfully Jay was there yesterday and Zim was there today. So we were able to get a little bit of content out of practice.
We do. We got to give Zim a little bit of grace. He's got the Coyote Lounge thing started, whatever this looks like. So
yeah,
for now, I dig it. I dig it.
Do we call a truce with Zim as long as he can spell our players' names right?
I think so.
Okay.
It's never a truce, but he's just in favor.
Okay. All right, he's gained some brownie points.
There you go.
All right, now to the meat and potatoes of the show. Here you go, boys. The Missouri Valley preseason poll. So on the left is the official poll results, and that's from coaches, media, whoever all votes in that. It's kind of a accumulation of a bunch of different people. And then ours are on the right side. I don't know if people can see those or not, but they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's take us through the official poll first, and then we'll go through ours.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? At least 3 media members had something thinking between the
Yes, the USD receives 3 first place votes, even though we finished third in the official poll. We're the only other team besides North Dakota State to receive a first place vote, and we received 3.
I want to see the polls. I'm just curious. I want to know who voted what.
We always want to know. We always want to know how we got there, right? It's super odd to see, or I shouldn't say, it's not super odd to see a limited amount of teams only get first place votes. It's extremely odd to see the team that got first place votes not be a second then, though. Like, I don't know that I've ever seen this, and maybe it's because we're talking about 6 points, right, on this voting tally, but I don't know that I've ever seen a third place vote or a third place team get 3 votes and a second place team get 0 votes, and it's still
exactly.
Very, very strange, but nonetheless, a majority of folks have kind of defaulted to NDSU with 39 first place votes and a pretty significant margin between both USD and SDSU from total points. But
yeah.
Okay, so obviously the heavy hitters are up top, right? NDSU, SDSU, USD, Illinois State. And then there's kind of a drop, and you can see that in the points tallied up there. You got Youngstown State, Southern Illinois, UND, Northern Iowa, Indiana State, and way down below Murray State. I think if you look at you look at the bottom three. I mean, that's no arguments, right? We all agree. And when we ranked them individually without talking to each other, we all agree that those are the bottom three in that order. So I don't think we need to spend a ton of time talking about that. But if you have some comments, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I did flirt with putting UND at 8.
Jesus.
What? Do you want to know why they got the nod? First of all, they are terrible on the road. They suck.
Okay, so they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose 6 out of their 12 games because
exactly
lose all their road games.
Yeah.
All right. So the best they can do is 6 and 6.
It wouldn't be a back the pack podcast without Jake dumping on UND. So go ahead, Jake.
They got the Bison coming home to their field. They
I like that.
have to go to both the South Dakotas. The only reason they got the nod over UNI is because they returned their quarterback, and they play UNI with a new coach, whole new system, early. It is at UNI, so that's where I almost switched them. But since it's early and it's UND with the returning quarterback always gets the nod on my end.
Grant, do something, say something. I don't know.
You don't have.
To be honest, UNI scares me slightly. I'm not saying not scares isn't the right word. In this 8 spot, I can see them overachieving out of this 8 spot that we all put them in, right? Because if you can coach at Drake, I mean, and now you have scholarships, you have resources to use. Like, I just don't think it's going to happen this year, right? Like, but I can. See
I agree, and that's why I think they belong right where they're at.
I agree. I don't foresee anything happening this year, but
Stepsis is going to turn it around, but it's not going to be overnight.
I'm not making my joke.
Go ahead.
Nope, it's not going on the air.
But you're right. That's the only thing is like that every once in a while that team can get juice from a brand new coach, especially going from Farley, who had been there for 400 million years. And then you have a new, young, completely different style, I'm going to assume, right? Assuming he does maybe something similar to what he's done at Drake.
Whole new offense for sure.
So there's something about him that I don't think it's going to be a rough year for him, but like I could see them winning a game or two that they shouldn't.
I don't know. They're pretty bad.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know how else to say it, but they're pretty bad. I think the talent's kind of depleted too.
I'm just saying, to Jake's point, I could see them stealing the North Dakota game. I could see them stealing a game against Youngstown. You know what I mean? Something like that. But
to go along, you bring up Youngstown too. I will tell you this: they play Youngstown UNI play at the end of the season at UNI.
Right, that's what I mean.
That's sneaky.
Yeah. That to that
Who
point.
Cares? Who cares?
True.
Nobody cares about the 7th and 8th place teams anyway.
It doesn't. As I say, the 5 through 8 is pretty interesting. But
agreed. And that's where we've got some differences there.
More interesting, but I could lump in. You could convince me to lump in UNI, Indiana State and Murray State. Sorry, you guys are in just a completely different place than the other programs are. Maybe someday, but not this year.
Yeah, exactly. Yote fan says I could buy a new piano and not know how to play it. Exactly. Okay, so UND real quick. So I'm going to talk about them just for a second because I'm a little higher on them than you guys are. You guys had them 7th. I had them 6th. I just think that with the new coach, I think their defense is going to be a lot better. They returned quite a bit on defense. And so they're not, if you guys remember last year, they were giving up like 30 to 35, even 40 points a game. And all their games were shootouts. Their defense is going to be better with him coming in, his scheme. A lot of guys coming back that are experienced. I think that defense is going to be better. I'm not talking about world beaters here, but I'm just talking about they're going to be better than last year. And with you mentioned Ramfo coming back, quarterback, running back comes back too. Their biggest issue, and I think they returned like maybe 3 or 4 linemen. Their biggest issue is at wide receiver. Like with Bo Belquist gone, who the heck are they going to who the heck are they going to throw to?
Yeah,
and that's really, if I look at their weakness of their team, it's still question marks on defense, but it's going to be better. But then just wide receiver, who are they going to throw the ball to? And so I do think they're going to be better. overall than last year, but still, bottom third of the Valley.
Exactly. No, I agree entirely on that.
All right, so working our way up. So you had Southern Illinois, then Youngstown State, and Illinois State. So right there, it's really crowded in that kind of 4 through, or maybe even 5 through 7 spot, 4 through 7 spot, if you will. I want to look at your guys' stuff here. So you had, Jake, you had Southern Illinois, Youngstown, and UND in 5, 6, 7. Grant, you had the same. I have you guys are higher on Illinois State than I am.
I was just going to say that, Mitch. I need to get your thoughts on Illinois State at number 5, because the more I think about Illinois State, I've told you guys this, the more and more scared I get of that team and what they return. So give me your thought process on the 5 spot for them.
So number one, so I guess first things first is the reason I have them at 5 is because I think Southern Illinois is a dark horse this year, and I think I just have them at 4. So they, with Southern Illinois being so much higher, that knocks down Illinois State 1. But with Illinois State, guys, their schedule wasn't that hard last year, and I know they had a good season and they're getting a lot of preseason love, especially with certain players, and they returned the quarterback. Was that Rittenhouse? I think
Rittenhouse. Yep.
I think they're fake. I don't know that they're for real. It might be fool's gold. I'm just not ready to go there. And I think in some of the national polls, I think they're ranked in like the top 5 and top 10. You look at a lot of media polls. I'm just not sold that they're for real. I know they've got the quarterback and they've got a receiver, but outside of that, and defense, they returned nobody in the secondary. That was the weakness that I saw for them, was no cornerbacks, no safeties coming back. And only a few up front on the defense. So I'm not convinced that they're going to be as good as everybody says they are. And I know they, like I said, they have individual talent, but team wise, I don't know. I'm not there. And then, like I said, I also think Southern Illinois with DJ Williams, I think they're going to be good again this year, assuming he stays healthy. And so that's why I've got them above them. But it'll be interesting. Those two are going to be tight in terms of where they finish.
I could see it. Southern Illinois, in my mind, DJ Williams is the catalyst for it, 100%. But they 100%, in my mind, have the best receiving core in the Missouri Valley.
Vincent.
And nobody's talking about it.
Vincent, was it? The heck is his name?
So there's actually 2 of them on it, and it's Vincent Davis.
Yeah, Vincent Davis the third. He's really good.
Yes. And then, hold on, give me 1 second. I'm trying to remember his name off the top of my head. They were so down, but then
they had so many injuries last year because they were looking like world beaters to start the season, and then they just had a ton of injuries, and we caught them at the right time. They were dropping like flies when we got them in the dome, and we boat raced them out of there. But I think part of that was just because of the injuries.
Yeah, and actually, now that I'm looking at their top receivers from last season. Let me check this one here just to be sure. So they return 3 of their top 5. And Vincent Davis definitely is their number 1.
Yep.
But they lost 2 to the transfer portal, and Keontae Lewis, who transferred to Oklahoma, which was funny enough.
Good. He was good. Okay, he goes FBS.
Yep, he goes FBS. But then Allen Middleton also transferred up, and he went, which in my opinion, Bowling Green isn't up, but he transferred to Bowling Green.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, so that hurts a little bit, but I'm a big believer in DJ Williams. He was looking like a Walter Payton Award winner to start the season last year until he broke his hand or whatever. Yeah. He stays healthy and their O-line stays healthy. Yeah, I just think they can be the biggest dark horse in the Valley.
And I wanted to be reminded, they were pretty much every starter was playing against USD last year except for Williams. Their O-line that were injured going into that game did play. So,
yeah, but to what level? I mean, if they were like 50%, I know, but they're out there all bandaged up. I don't know. We'll see. I think that's where it's tight though, right? At that kind of 4, 5, 6 spot. You guys, so you had Southern Illinois, and then both of you had SD. Let's talk this. So I had Southern Illinois at 4. You both had State at 4. Let's talk SDSU for a minute. This is the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest wild card. But what do you guys think?
I mean, SDSU, huge question marks. I do think they recruited well and maintained some talent. So it's curious where it goes. But Illinois State got the nod because they have a returning head coach and the second best quarterback in Missouri Valley.
Mm-hmm.
They have you could have a conversation on potentially the best receiver, and then they have the second best running back. Offensively, they're going to be in any game they want to be in. It just depends on when their defense shows up, and I think they're definitely jumping up to seize that.
That's why I don't trust them. That defense is highly questionable for me, and so I know they got the firepower on offense, like you just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't trust that defense.
They can get 5 picks in the game. I think they're good enough.
I was going to say
that was fluky. That was fluky. You're talking about the playoff game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fluky.
I mentioned earlier too, but Illinois State is one of those teams. Again, reference lost a lot of starters, right? Like can't deny that, especially on defense. But there's a lot of guys who played a lot of snaps behind the starters in that defense. So the way they rotate them in and out. So I don't think it's going to be as bad as it looks on paper on defense. Probably a step back, but I think they've got a pretty good stable of guys. And to Jake's point, that's why I gave them the nod too, is that the most important position of all of sports is quarterback, right? That's the one thing that can make or break your team. And Illinois State has it, the most exciting quarterback, not the best, but he's the most exciting quarterback in the Missouri Valley. And I think he gives them an opportunity to win pretty much every game, right? So
it'll be interesting. He can sling it. He's definitely worthy of the accolades he's getting.
And they
get
a matchup with North Dakota State at home early in the season too.
I think you got a Redbird shirt on, Jake. You wearing a Illinois State Redbird shirt?
Returning quarterbacks.
I brainwashed Jake. I've brainwashed him. I've been talking about Illinois State. Hey, to that point, I'm going to start this now. I told you guys before the show, USD fans need to get on it, get with the program now. That Illinois State game at the Dome, you could argue maybe the most important home game of the year, right? That and SDSU. Yep. Talk about two teams that are probably going to be in the top 10 for sure. Maybe the top 5. Like, get your butts to the Dome for that Illinois State game. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be crazy.
And this Hall of Fame / military appreciation game too. So
perfect.
I mean,
perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. All right. Enough of Illinois State. How about SDSU? So you guys have them at 4. I have them at 3. To me, because they lost 30 some guys and the whole coaching staff, this is the biggest wild card team in the Valley this year. Like, I think we kind of know where these other teams are going to finish and what they have, but with SDSU, we just don't know. I mean, there's so many unknowns across the roster, and they brought in a ton of guys to replace all the bodies they lost. I don't know what to think of this because part of this is for me. It's living in the past and the brand name and just knowing what they've been able to do and reload year after year. So that's part of why I have them there. But honestly, 4 seems about right. I put them at 3 just because of that fact.
Yeah. You know what? We're gonna know real quick, first 2 weeks of the year, if we were right or wrong. They open up tough. Sac State is a tough game at home. Sac State's recruiting like crazy. We'll see if they can put it together. And I'm kind of annoyed that I kind of am leaning towards hoping the Bunnies win, which really frustrates me. But then they go to Montana State. Like, those first 2 games definitely tell me something's where they're at. And I truly, I don't see the hype in Chase. And
we've seen flashes of him, but he's never been the guy, right? And he's never had to do it for 12 games, and so there's a lot of unknown there.
What flashes though? He didn't pass. When he did get garbage time playing, he had 65% passing on the season.
Yeah, a lot of his big plays were obviously rushing the ball, right? In that, in those designed quarterback runs. Was some of his highlight reel stuff we've seen in the past. The biggest question mark with him is can he pass the ball, and then who's he going to throw to? They do return, I think, Graham Goring, wide receiver, but they lost a lot receiver wise. They lose their best guy, and they lost, and Wildy, and then they lose, I think, tight end or 2 are gone as well. So that's, to me, guys, I like their ceiling. It could be 2, and their floor could be like 5 or 6.
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
is. I think you're right. They're like the most unpredictable team in the conference by far, and to that point, like Chase Mason clearly seems to be the guy. I don't think it's really even a competition from what I've been reading and understanding. So
mhm.
all the pressure is on him. Like there's an immense amount of pressure for him because if he's the guy, there's no reason they can't be in the top 2, right? But if he's not the
Mhm.
guy, what does that look like, right? Like
Exactly.
he's athletic. He's athletic as all be, but we're talking about true quarterback play like Jake's talking about. Like we just haven't seen it yet. There hasn't been enough. You just haven't
I,
seen enough of it yet. So you
I'll
know,
say this
it'll
too.
be crazy to see to see what that looks like. But that's why I put him at 4 just because of the
Mhm.
unpredictability. I just don't know. New coach, so much roster turnover, and again, you kind of default to the QB spot, right? If you've got a known commodity at the most important position, you feel pretty good about it. So Illinois State, USD, right? I feel good about those two because they could bring a quarterback back, but
Yep.
SDSU, I just don't know.
Yeah, and I'll add to this though. I will say this: Chase Mason is a freak of nature. That
Oh yeah,
dude
he's
Absolutely
an
a
can
freak
athlete.
athlete.
he
Absolutely.
Hmm.
can rip the ball, but
Absolutely.
Hmm.
He's a
arm
baseball player.
strength
His background is actually in baseball.
exactly. Yeah, and I didn't he go to SCSU to do both?
I think maybe originally
I
just
think he was
baseball. I don't
trying.
know if it was
Yeah,
both or not, but originally baseball, I know for sure.
and so I mean he can rip it, but it's also about control and having somebody to catch the ball. Now he does
Well,
have an O line in front of him to protect him pretty well.
Oh
yeah, and
yeah,
the other
and
thing
I
I
mean
think of
pre-snap
too,
reads and everything like we say the true quarterback play is really the question mark, right? We've only seen it, like you said, in kind of garbage time, you know, and take that for what it's worth. So, and that's to your point, Jake. There's no break and in period, right? There's uh,
No,
no easy
you'll
games at
know
the
what
beginning of the
you
season.
have
It's
right away.
full systems
well,
go week
and
one.
the other thing too is injury prone. Like how injury prone is he? Because he's going to take hits. We've never really seen him take hits because, like to Jake's point, it's been in garbage time, and he's running free, down the sideline at a quarterback keeper untouched. Um, he's going to take hits, and so what does that look like over 12 games in the Missouri Valley, which is the premier conference with the biggest, strongest, fastest dudes in
Mhm.
FCS football, top to bottom. He's gonna take hits, and so what does that look like? And does he end up getting hurt at some point this season? And I don't wish it upon him, but it's just something that's gonna have to play out where he's gonna take those hits.
Exactly.
Right? And he's a guy
But
that
yeah,
they're not going to not run the ball with, right? Like he's too athletic to not take advantage of that. So
Yeah,
you're going to take hits, right? Just like Strevler, right? Strevler
exactly.
was beat up at the end of
Yes.
at the end of that last season that he played, and you could see a similar deal there.
mhm.
All right. So,
Last two.
yeah, real quick. It looks like Yote fan answered it already, but the classy girl asked if USD has names on the back of their uniforms. No, they currently do not. Yote fan's correct.
Yep. Yeah, and what you're seeing, Classic Girl, was John Gruden, old Hall of Fame NFL coach. USD sent him a whole box, and they sent him a custom, personalized jersey, and that's where that's coming from. And we,
Yep.
to be fair, we did have nameplates while we were in college,
That is true.
Yeah, this seems
but
to kind of come and go. I don't know if that's like a team decision or I don't know where that comes from, but yeah.
to be fair, if that 2000 represents birth year, she was 10 when we were in college. So
You got it. All right, so let's go top 2. Grant, you and I both had the Yotes at 2. Um, Jake, obviously we know you. I knew you were going to put the Yotes at 1 before we even talked about doing this.
hey, now
But Grant, let's before we let Jake go off here, let's talk why did we put USD at 2? And before we start this, I want to preface it with saying I could see this being a tie again this year, as it was a 3-way tie last year. I could see it being a 2-way tie this year. But yeah, USD at 2 for us. What do you think?
So I actually struggled with this one, probably the most out of this whole list, because I've been talking about it the entire time we've been talking about this, the known commodity at quarterback. Uh, should shoot you up the ranks, right? And NDSU does not have
Absolutely.
that this year.
Absolutely.
The only reason I put NDSU there, again, you talk about snap count. I believe they said they return about 88% of their roster, is one of the stats I heard.
Oh God, yeah.
Fact check
Coach
me on-
Polasek was beating that drum the other day at media days. He was thumping his chest saying we returned 88% of our roster.
Yeah, which there's something to be said about that, right? And I always say you want to pump your chest about that after a good season. Like you don't want to go 2-10 and be like, yeah, we return a whole roster. Like, great, you guys stunk last year. So you're national champions and you return your whole roster. That's a good start.
Yep.
But yeah, that was the only defining thing is that same thing. They have question marks at QB, right? Like I think everyone thinks, now I'm blanking, is a Cole Payton is going to be the guy for him, right? But it's like we've seen him before, seen him for a long time, and he's never been the guy. But for some reason, all of a sudden now he is the guy. So I know experience helps that, but I still gave him the nod. The good news is we get to settle it early up in Fargo and see.
Yes.
So we'll see though. But I mean, to your point, I know Jake put us at 1. Like I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the 1-2 there.
So obviously Jake thinks we're going to beat them up in Fargo again this year, and I think, is that on their homecoming again this year?
Yeah,
it is. So 2 years ago, we remember we beat them on their homecoming, and they were kind of sleepwalking in that game, and we took advantage of it and went up there and beat them. But
let's make it a tradition.
There you go. And so for that reason, that's the only reason I put NDSU ahead, is because I'm not super confident at this point. Now this may change as I see us play in week 1, week 2, leading up to that game. But I'm not confident we can win on the road in Fargo this year, and so that's the only reason I give them the nod. But yeah, you looked up and down their roster specifically; they return quite a bit, as we talked about. But the biggest question mark is that quarterback spot. If they figure that out, they're gonna be dangerous. But if they don't figure it out, again, look out. Who knows? I mean, you could see right. USD and Illinois State or Southern Illinois up there, and NDSU and SDSU down in that 3, 4, 5 spot. And that's really where it makes this tough. And you look at, again, the professionals who did the preseason poll and the insiders within the Valley, they're going off of brand. In my opinion, they're just living off of the brand names, and pretty darn close to how things finished last year. Yeah, and so I guess that's where I'm at with NDSU is kind of similar conversation with SDSU, because it does hinge on the quarterback spot, as we all know, just like in the NFL. If you don't have the quarterback figured out, it's going to be a tough year.
Am I out of timeout yet?
Yeah, you are.
I was going to say, Jake, tell us why we're wrong.
Oh, 100% want it.
Please do.
Again, I will tell you this, actually. I did struggle on this pick quite a bit until we just got that announcement from NDSU. Had they picked Hayes at a quarterback, I would have actually put NDSU above us.
Let's go.
But the moment you put Cole Payton there, okay, I'll still rank Cole Payton above Chase Mason as a quarterback because he's played more. He's done more He's done more quarterback stuff. He hasn't just ran. So there is that, and that's why he does get the nod above. But you give me Cole Payton, and you got us coming in on homecoming at the beginning of the season. First Missouri Valley game, which is weird that they have homecoming so early. But then they go on the road at Illinois State right after us. We're going to beat the crap out of them, and then Illinois State's going to take the top off.
Oh, jeez.
So, Jake, just so I'm clear, losing 2 games? Week 4, they got them eliminated from contention.
I didn't say they came into our house and kicked our ass after we thought they were eliminated.
Well, the FCS Nation guys had losing to Citadel week 1, so hey, it may be 3 losses first handful of games.
Stone Citadel, isn't he?
No, I think it's Kevin.
It's Kevin. Okay, I know one of them is a Citadel fan, which is
I think it's Kevin.
But I need proof. I need something from Cole early, and he's not the quarterback.
Well, again, we're going to know early, right? In the first week or 2, just like SDSU, we're going to know if they've got the right guy in the spot.
No, it's Citadel and Tennessee State.
It doesn't.
Those are nobodies.
I know, but you're going to know, right? Like just looking at it doesn't matter who they're playing. You're going to know. Like just looking at what he's able to do. I don't care who the competition is. I think they're going to know real early. And if things go south, I think they're going to be looking for Hayes. And with SDSU, I couldn't even name who their backup quarterback is, honestly.
No. Yeah, so I'll say this. When it comes to NDSU, I do actually enjoy that they got the Citadel and Tennessee State to open up, because those are two opponents that it'll fluff his stats and it'll look good. But then they're going to ride him. And then you get SEMO and you're like, okay, like he went out and performed. We won. And then USD comes in the stadium and we expose him for what he actually is.
I like that.
And then Illinois State beats them while they're on the road. And then all of a sudden you got the quarterback controversy going on. And then also head coach having for sale signs put in his front lawn.
Oh, jeez.
That's what happened 2 years ago to their other guy.
Here we go.
I'm not wrong.
No, you're not. But I think I think their fans were not in love with Polasek until he won the Natty last year. They didn't like him the whole year until they won the Natty.
I will say too, Jake, the NDSU schedule is interesting. It's soft in the beginning with Citadel and Tennessee State. SEMO at home, again, not a little bit better, but that stretch where it's versus USD at Illinois State and then versus Southern Illinois, that's three. Top 20s.
Games. Those are three tough games.
Those are going to be three tough games. So you're going to your point, Jake, during that stretch, you're going to learn quickly. If that's, I don't know if you're going to learn anything in the out of conference. I agree with Jake on that.
And so I do want to comment on Ray's here, this post. This is an idea I've been tossing around a little bit. I don't know if it's even possible, but we've had a short discussion about potentially doing a backpack bus where you could buy tickets for the seats up to Fargo. I don't know if it's something that is feasible, but if it isn't feasible, I'm still road tripping up to Fargo.
That'd be a good one to go. That'd be a good one to go to. You and I also. I mean, those aren't too far away, so
no,
both those would be good ones to go to. I agree. Hey, if anybody's in the chat, we got a couple of people still watching here. Throw out your top. Where you think USD is going to finish? 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Let us know what you're feeling about the Yotes, and then maybe both SDSU and NDSU, because those are kind of the biggest two we talked about here. But yeah, let us know on those three where you think they're going to finish while we're kind of wrapping this conversation up, because I'm curious to know where other Yote fans feel like those especially SDSU, where they're going to finish. But yeah, Nashville. There you go, Ray. I like that.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
There we go.
I think coming out of this conversation, I guess I'll finish with this. My thoughts is that, and we've been talking about this all week, texting back and forth, guys, is playoffs, right? We know we're going to be a playoff contending team, obviously. Thinking about making that deep playoff run to Nashville and what that's going to take. And we've been talking this week about doing our damnedest to get that top 2 seed. So we can have home field advantage, play in the dome have that first round bye and then play in the dome, those final 3 games to get to Nashville, is huge. And so for us, obviously can't stumble at Lamar, but there's that big test early in the season in Fargo. It is a big one in terms of getting that number 1 or number 2 overall seed. And so a lot's going to be decided early this year, I think, just with that matchup specifically, unless one of us falter, obviously further down. But that's a big game. That one's definitely circled. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, we saw last year we had to go on the road, obviously, to Bozeman, but playing at the Dome, man, that'd be nice all through the playoffs.
I mean, we brought the heat last year, even with a major ice snowstorm. I'm trying to remember, was that UC Davis game? That one was nuts, and so it really kept people away. But playoff Dome hit so differently compared to just regular season. Absolutely. Everybody that was there knew how important it was. And now it's time to really start talking about, like, hey, each home game is a playoff game. It really is what it is. So we got to bring the heat for the regular season and give me a 2 seed, and I'm booking my tickets to Nashville.
And that's where, I want to reiterate the point, like going on the road in the playoffs, it's bad enough to go on the road in the Valley, right, during the regular season. But to go on the road in the playoffs is tough. I don't care where you're going and who you're playing. Going on the road in the playoffs is tough. And so we need to do our damnedest to make sure that we get these guys the top 1 or 2 seed and help them out, during the regular season, fill the dome up and do what we can, because we need one of those top 2 seeds that guarantees home field advantage. And we know we play better at home, especially later in the year. And so, yeah, I think that's the key, but it's 1 week at a time,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I just feel like that's the biggest thing. And obviously whoever wins the Valley is going to have that.
What seed do we get when we win our first game?
Seed do we get when we win our first game?
Yeah.
Well, you're probably going to rocket up the polls. So I don't know. What do we come in this season?
Rocket up the polls from 4 to 1?
Yeah, we'll jump from 4 to 1 if we win at Iowa State. I can tell you that.
There we go.
Because SDSU and NDSU are both ahead of us in the preseason polls, and they don't have an FBS game. So that would be absolutely huge.
Exactly. No, I'm just ready for football to start. And the great news is when you wake up tomorrow morning, if you're watching this live, it's football month.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we've made it. We've made it, fellas. Yote fan, did you read Yote fan's comment yet?
Oh yeah, tied for first, and then on to the Natty.
Yes, love it, tied for first. I'll take that. I can settle with the Missouri Valley tie again this year, as long as it gets us a top 2 seed. I don't know if it will though. I mean, based on last year, I know. The Big Sky, because the Big Sky is probably going to have, I don't know if they'll have an undefeated team, but they're probably going to have one of those 2 seeds.
You got to, if we lose 28-29 up in Fargo and win every other game, you could argue 1-2 NDSU, USD.
Still think we got robbed last year, guys. Not over it yet.
I'm glad we went to Montana State. I'll say that. I'll stand on that. That's my soapbox. I'll stand on it.
Beat NDSU and still lower seed. It's trash.
All right. I think we're talking in circles now at this point. To let these folks go to bed.
All right.
Hey, before we wrap up, though, talking about future shows here, I was going to say, before we wrap up, for future shows, just to give the folks a little bit of a preview if you're watching, I think the plan for the next couple of weeks is to kind of go through those away games during a show. We're going to go through some of the home games during a show, and then we'll be doing a full-length season preview prediction show for our last show before Iowa State. So start to get your thoughts ready. We'd love for people to also be very interactive during that show. I think that'll be probably one of our favorite ones to do, is going kind of line by line what we think is going to happen in each game. So just something to think about as we press on here the next 4 weeks here.
I like it.
Yeah, love it. And as we leave here, we want to make sure we thank everybody and remind them to subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun things to our show. We want to keep growing this thing. I think, what do we have, Jake? Over 100 now on YouTube subscribers?
103.
103. Nice.
Yeah, we're climbing slow and steady.
Yeah, and as always, this is available on Spotify too if you want audio only. So if you can't make the live show or you don't want to watch it on YouTube, you can catch it on Spotify. Just search Back the Pack and you'll find it.
Perfect.
All right.
Hey, all we got to say is go Yotes.
Go Yotes.
Go Yotes.